having a look at the descending tract, and the descending tracts are divided into two broad pyramidal system and the extrapyramidal system. So now I'm saying about the pyramidal system. You have two tracts in pyramidal system. One is the corticospinal tract, that is what is seen here. The corticospinal tract is otherwise called as pyramidal tract very commonly because they arise from the pyramidal cells of the cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex has granular layer, molecular layer, pyramidal layer. Okay, so like that, in the pyramidal internal and external pyramidal layers, you have some cells called as the bird cells, BERTZ, bird cells, or otherwise called as pyramidal cells or giant cells, because they are the largest cells of the cerebral cortex. So these cells gives rise for these tracts, and the tract after getting arise goes down as corona radiata and gets condensed in an area called as internal capsule. By the name capsule itself, you can understand that you know that medically important substances are kept inside a capsule, and it is given, you know, how densely they'll be packed inside the capsule. Likewise, this capsule in the central nervous system incorporates all the sensory and the motor nerve fibers very closely arranged here. Okay, so after entering into the internal capsule, it comes down to the midbrain. Okay, in the midbrain, and then it passes to the pons and then to the medulla, and in the medulla it crosses to the opposite side. Remember, not 100% of the nerve fibers crosses to the 100% of the pyramidal system crosses to the opposite side. Only 85 to 90% of them crosses to the opposite side. The remaining 10 to 15% remains on the same side. The one that crosses to the opposite side are called as lateral corticospinal tract. The one that remains on the side is called as the anterior corticospinal tract. So that is why we say the left side of the brain controls the right side of the part. And the same side, if there is a CVA on the left side, it affects the upper limb and lower limb on the opposite side, and also have a small residual impairment on the same side, simply because there is a 15 to 10% contribution of the ipsilateral corticospinal tract onto the trunk muscles. This anterior anterior corticospinal tract will influence the trunk musculature. Okay, got it? So this is the anatomy of the corticospinal tract. So what is the role of this corticospinal tract? The corticospinal tract is involved in fine movements of the body. It is going to bring about movements of the body, and it is going to predominantly influence the flexors of the body. When I say predominantly influence, that means it also influences the extensors of the body, but its influence is distributed in such a manner that it predominantly influences the flexors of the body. You can see this color coding. You see, once the pyramidal tract comes to the midbrain, which is more medial, the cervical is more medial, the thoracic later on, and the lumbar is in the outer side. That means when the spinal cord is when the tract is traveling down, the outermost, that is lateralmost part pertaining to the lumbosacral region, and the middlemost portion is called is pertaining to the cervical region. The significance of this I will let you know later. One thing you have to remember is, in mass as it is in motor system, the fibers which are carrying information from the brain towards the spinal cervical region are placed more medially, and which are the one which is carrying information to the lumbosacral region are more laterally.